Manga-Waido.
My name is Tomoya Murayama. I'm 35. I work as a sous chef at a hotel restaurant. If I see anyone cooking slow, I help out. And I run the flow of the kitchen. Mr. Murayama, can you check my sauce? Sure. Yeah, let's add just a tad more salt, and it should be good. This hotel has a history, but it's not very popular. People showed up just to eat lunch, but that also stopped recently. Compared to other restaurants or hotels, we probably have less equipment. You pretty much wouldn't work here unless you had a love for this hotel and restaurant. But my days were fulfilling. It's a little cliche, but it was thanks to my family. I'm home.
Welcome home! Welcome home, honey.
My wife, Yuko, and son, Kenta, both welcomed me home with smiles. Yuko works at a supermarket as a part-time worker and takes care of the house. Kenta's in 6th grade, and he's not interested in cooking at all. He prefers eating, but he's honest and bright. Then one day, while we were spending our days peacefully...
Tomoya, I need to ask you for some help. Asuka wants us to take care of Leo.
Leo? That Leo? Damn. Yuko's sister, Akiko's husband, runs a construction company. Leo is the second child in their family. Maybe it's his environment. He's always rowdy, and all the relatives know that he can't be controlled.
She's going with Taiga to study abroad, so...
Oh, the music school thing. I remember Taiga playing for us as a kid. He's got talent. But what about the dad? He's around, right?
Yeah, but...
According to Yuko, he only cares about his eldest son, Taiga, and ignores Leo. I mean, I can't turn that down. We decided to take on Leo for a month. Leo showed up with a massive suitcase like he was going to go abroad. The first thing he said when he showed up was, "Wow, your house is tiny! I thought it was a doghouse!" I knew it. I figured he would be this way, but Leo has a mouth on him. He just keeps saying whatever he wants. It makes sense because he's in high school, but both Yuko and I knew it was coming, so we just ignored it.
Welcome, Leo. Let's get along for the next month.
Yeah! I heard your cooking was delicious, so I'm excited for that. Only that, though.
Sis!
Come on. Let's carry your luggage. Your room is upstairs. Leo was obviously disappointed with his room. It was because he had a room with Kenta. I didn't hear about having to live with a kid.
What? You're just a kid, too.
Hey! You call me Mr. Leo! I'm your elder! The attitude! Leo just kept spewing poison. When he saw the small yard from the living room... This is a yard? Shouldn't yards be bigger with, like, gazebos or something? When he took a bath... This bath is tiny! I can't even stretch out my legs! How do I swim? Swim? It's a bathtub. Leo just laughed and scoffed at our peasantry at every chance he could. Don't say too much, Leo. You're gonna make me sad. This is how regular people get by. I'm so glad we're rich. Being poor sucks. Oh well, I'll deal with it. Yeah, what a brat. However, on the night of the first dinner, he acted a little unexpectedly. Alright, come on. I cooked all this. I hope it fits your taste. At first, this is such a poor dinner. But he started changing a little after he started eating. The fried chicken, the kimpira, eggs, miso soup. It wasn't like hotel food, but I definitely put my effort into making it good. It's delicious! It's all so delicious! The miso soup is so good! The scent! Is this freshly cooked seasoning? Huh? You noticed? I didn't think anyone would know. I had just created the seasoning with my new seasoning box. He apparently had a very good palate. I'm never able to talk about cooking at my house, so... According to him, his father was always busy and never listened. His mother was always taking care of the oldest son. No one really cared about cooking, and they ate frozen foods and prepared meals from shops. Leo ate alone regularly. I didn't know that. I figured you guys would be eating fancy food every day. Yeah, sometimes I cook for myself. I want to be a French food chef one day. French? Why? We went to a French restaurant with all 4 of us once, and the French food was amazing and everyone was smiling for the first time in a while, he said. He couldn't forget the experience. I felt like that meal brought everyone together, and I started having an interest in cooking. Okay, then do you want me to teach you how to cook like a professional? Really? Yeah. Seriously? Yay! Haha, I guess he is just a kid. The next day, I found time to start teaching Leo the basics of cooking. Exactly! You're pretty good with a knife. Yeah, I was practicing at home too! He must have been all alone working in his kitchen at home. I felt a little bad for him. You give your food to your family? Once. To my father. He didn't say anything. Probably because I gave it to him with all the other stuff from the store. If Kenta had cooked me a meal, I think I would be jumping out of my seat from excitement. Then put on the ketchup and there you go! There's your omurice. We all said our thanks and started eating his omurice. This is delicious! You can sell this at a restaurant! Yuto and Kenta were both enjoying the omurice. Leo was slightly tearing up after hearing everyone enjoy his meal. Thank you! I'm so happy! It's so nice eating with everyone! I couldn't stand it after seeing Leo crying. I headed to a certain place. I made an appointment with the father and went directly to his house. He didn't say a single thing after the promised month had passed. Sorry, I'm glad you took on our bad son. Bad son? I was not expecting him to say that. I was shocked. Leo is a great kid. I have something I want to talk about actually. It's about him. I asked him straightforward if he treated his son with love and care. Love, huh? I treat him as if Taiga is my only son. What? What do you mean? I mean exactly what I said. Taiga is smart. He's elite. He's a genius at music. I only need Taiga. I don't need the second loser. I knew that he had liked the eldest son more, but I didn't know it was this bad! If you want him, you can just take him. I'll pay for his expenses. You shouldn't joke about those kinds of things. I'm not joking at all. I'm going to go home now. Sorry for taking your time. I stood up and left. Of course, we didn't even talk about when Leo would be going home. I went back to my family and had to explain what had just happened between Leo's father and me.
I see. I feel so bad for him.
I had suggested that we keep Leo for a little while longer to the two. The next day, I talked to Leo about the suggestion. He looked a little puzzled. Then he said, "Thank you. I didn't want to be in that house anyway. I just keep getting sour, so I spew poison and if you two don't mind, can I please stay at your house?"
Of course.
You can consider this your home from now on.
I'll call you brother then.
Hell yeah, Kenta! I talked to Akiko, who was overseas, about Leo too. It made sense why they were married. They sounded the same.
You're taking Leo? Wow, you really like weird things. Trying to raise that monster.
I was disgusted. I held back the rage boiling inside of me. Anyway, we had formally accepted Leo into our household, and I started teaching him how to cook again. Great job, Leo! Keep it up. If you cook the vegetables with butter, you can really condense that flavor. You can add some more butter after there are fewer bubbles, right? I was impressed by how much he had improved. I could tell he loved cooking. He could be working in my restaurant for all I knew. He was always happy to be cooking without a worry in the world. That was Leo.
This is a little too salty. Water!
I didn't cook this for kids. Here, drink this. Kenta and Leo always bickered with each other, but it wasn't like before. When Leo decided he wanted to go to cooking school, I went with him to ask for his parents' permission. Please! I want to become a chef! I'm begging you! I'm also asking, I want him to chase his dreams! Do whatever you want. Taiga is doing good. That's all that matters. Maybe he wanted to show up his father, who had no hopes for him. He had joined cooking school and was improving drastically. He graduated top of the class. Afterwards, he entered into contests and kept winning. The industry had noticed his skill, and he was officially a professional chef. 8 years after he left Japan, he had gone to France and accepted a position taking over a 3-star Michelin restaurant. He occasionally writes about how he receives awards.
Leo is doing so great overseas. Who knew he could do that well? I want to eat his rice again.
Speak of the devil. A little while later, Leo called us. I see. You'll swing by then? He was going to come back to Japan for work.
Yeah, I gotta figure out what I want to have him cook for me. Oh, stop.
A few days later...
Welcome home, Leo.
Thank you. You look pretty good. Look at you, all grown up. Oh, come on! I've still got so much to do. I invited him to the living room and asked him about his life overseas. His lifestyle in France, the difference in food culture, how work was, and what he planned to do next. Just as the stories were really getting exciting, there he was on the intercom. I don't know how he figured it out, but Kosuke was there. Oh, you're home, Leo. You should say hello to your parents first, don't you think? I thought I was a failure. Oh, I was just teasing you. Come home, please. I'm begging you. Yeah, you just want me to work for you in place of my older brother, right? I heard what he did. Yeah, he had caused serious problems. Apparently, he hated his life overseas and came home after he got in a huge argument with his classmates and teachers in music school. Yeah, he's a failure. He hides in his room all day and doesn't listen. I see. Unfortunately, I'm not going to go back to your house. Come on! The company is in trouble too! I need your money as a chef! We're family! Come on! Who was the guy that said Taiga was his only son? I think I've heard enough. Get out! Now! Leo shoved him out of the door, and he walked away complaining under his breath. I'm sorry for showing such a shameful thing. It's alright, don't worry about it. Afterwards, we worked together in the kitchen. It had been so long. Leo was going to be going back tomorrow, but we're still keeping in touch with him. Come back whenever, okay? I told Leo right before he left. Oh, and Kosuke, who is now despised by both his sons, lived a pretty miserable life after that. He had apparently started working with gangs, and he had to resign from his position as CEO. The company wanted to catch him, but he fled into the countryside. If only it had ended there. It was actually brought to light that he was embezzling company money, and he was arrested. The wife was also going through it as a result of her husband's actions. She's having to work day jobs to pay for her jobless son. She quit that, and she apparently started living the nightlife in her 40s. I feel bad for them, but it's their fault. They deserved it. I'm excited for my son, Kenta, and Leo's futures. I still work in the kitchen. I'm glad to say I'm busy every day. Working hard is the best thing.